Tonight, we are staying in Hotel zum Schwan. And while it's not an extremely well-known hotel, this place is loaded with history. Built as a hunting lodge in the year 1760 and eventually turning into a hotel, this place has not only withstood 2 world wars, but managed to keep its original structure with a staircase that's almost 300 years old. Set in the historical village of Bad Karlshafen, Germany, a Baroque-style spa town established in 1699, the hotel has also hosted numerous historical figures, including Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb himself. It also just so happens to be located next to its fair share of fairy tale castles. In fact, we're actually going to check out the real Sleeping Beauty castle. So without further ado, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
So we've made it to our destination, and the first thing I'm noticing about this place is that all of the buildings are white, and this is not your typical German village. So already it stands out, and it's pretty beautiful. Let's go ahead and check in and see what this place is all about.
Ach, Maduino.
Ja, das ist Nachname.
Jetzt weiß ich jetzt. Haben wir zum Frühstück eingeladen. Das ist von 8 bis 10 Uhr. War schön, weil da können Sie auch im Garten und können auch noch. Je nachdem, wie es sagt. Die Etage ist vielleicht
Bis auf Fahrstuhl.
Fahrstuhl. Ansonsten geht es hier Treppenraum, die zeige ich mal.
Ja.
This place is cool. This place is cool. It's fancy. It's got its own vibes, that's for sure. A little creepy, but cool.
So, bitteschön.
Dankeschön.
Wow.
Vielen, vielen Dank.
Wenn die Tür zu ist, auf die 3 drücken und wenn Sie oben angekommen sind, müssen Sie ein bisschen geradeaus laufen, sehen Sie schon da. Ne?
Super. Perfekt.
Cool.
Vielen, vielen
Thank
Dank.
you.
Angenehmen Aufenthalt. Ne?
Danke.
Danke. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go.
3 drücken.
3?
Ja.
Can't press anything in here. This is a elevator for hobbits. So, oh, shit. There's so much going on in here in this small space. I've got 2 mirrors on each side behind me, but as you can see, this is a very confined space right here. It's pretty much room for 2 of us. But cool. It's a very old school feeling.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so we ran into a technical difficulty. We're back down at the bottom level. Whoops. Ja, unser Schuld. Das ist unser Schuld, sorry. 3 drucken.
3.
And then, and then, when the door opens up, you have to push, right?
Yes, babe.
Okay, let's I've never been in an elevator where you had to push the door open. It's a little bit different.
No?
No. Have you?
Yes.
I've been in an elevator where you have to slide the door open, but not push it open.
Oh.
That's something different. And yes, it's hot and stuffy in this elevator. Second try, here we go. Push. We did it. What was our room?
306.
306. A bit creepy. Ooh, it feels like The Shining. 302. It's 310. Random chairs. Beautiful stairs.
Ah, sind Treppen.
Let's see. 308. At the end on the right hand side here. 306. Oh wow. I think we just traveled back in time, babe. This is definitely giving off some colonial vibes, huh? This reminds me of staying at my grandmother's house. My great-grandmother's house, actually. Let's see what we got outside the window. What kind of a view? Oh, wow. That's nice. Yeah, that's just like stepping right back in time. Holy crap. What a beautiful view. I'm not gonna lie, I am extremely surprised by how beautiful of a view this place had. I did not expect that. And as you can tell, the floors are pretty old, but that's okay because the building is extremely beautiful with a lot of character. When you first walk in the room, the first thing that you notice is this old wood smell, an antique smell, like your great-grandmother's house. So it's got a really warm and inviting feeling. Right over here on this side is where you can put all of your stuff, your suitcases, fit in this old cabinet right here. And then on the other side here, they have a place where you can basically hang all your clothes. There's a mirror in the middle of it that you cannot open. I've learned that the hard way. In the middle of the room, we have a table, a couple of chairs, and a sofa, which those are all actually really comfortable. Of course, the sofa's got an old lamp next to it, which works. Next to the cabinet, we've got a creepy mirror sitting in the corner of the room right there. I guess that's for makeup or something like that because it's got that little antique chair sitting in front of it. And then right in front of that is your TV. And if I'm not mistaken, the TV seems to be sitting on top of what is an old sewing machine, which is a pretty nice touch. But the real question is, does it work? Does it? Okay, there it goes. It works. It's just kind of a delayed response, I guess. So, probably watch TV a little bit later, but not now. Let's do a bed test, shall we? Bed test! Oh. It's a little bit more firm than the last place, but I think it'll do. Yeah, I don't know. A little bit firm. All right, so like I said, the mattress is pretty firm. What I find interesting is this is actually the mattress, which is pretty thin, but it's laying on top of this piece right here, which is, well, if you could imagine, it's kind of like a firm sofa. But is it clean? Let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That bad boy is clean. All right, so it passes the test. It's clean, and this is like a Tempur-Pedic style mattress, which is nice, and they've got a protector on it, which is also clean. So this hotel has passed the bed test. And whatever this is above the bed, I have no idea what that is, but it adds to the colonial vibes 100%. I mean, it's so weird. There's no light behind there, but you can, I guess, pull that back like a curtain. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna move it because it's kind of dusty and I don't want that fallen on our bed, so. And of course, the nightstands look like antiques. Oh, look at that. It just popped open. What is that? Oh, the Bible. The German Bible. Okay, we'll put you back. Okay, we got 2 sinks here. A giant mirror. What's going on? Let's see. A shower, a toilet, a place to put your clothes while you're showering. Pretty basic. So that's the bathroom. It's not super fancy, but it's functional with everything you need. With that being said, that's pretty much the tour of the room. I want to get out and see what this place has to offer, so let's get going. All right, so I'm actually, almost slammed the door. I'm actually pretty eager to get out and explore the town here and see the castle, but before we do that, we're gonna explore the actual hotel here because this is actually a pretty interesting building. Let's go. So this is like your classic old hallway in a horror movie. You have the dim lighting, the creepy chairs, and the weird carpet. But I love it so much because it gives this place so much character. I mean, just look at these stairs. And I'm not sure why, but I am a sucker for these handrails. They even have a picture of Sleeping Beauty's castle here. That's pretty cool. So we came down here to explore the hotel a little bit, and the gentleman was nice enough to let us into the rooms here, which this is actually the dining room, which is a super fancy dining room. That's where we'll be having breakfast tomorrow. And then on the other side is the other part of the dining room where you actually pick up the breakfast. I won't show that to you guys now because you'll see that tomorrow. When you walk down the hallway, you see right here, they have little cabinets, glass cabinets where you can see the antiques and then really old paintings and stuff like that on the wall. It's super fancy and it's like something right out of a fairy tale, really, and that's no exaggeration. This photo that you're looking at right here was taken in 1933. That guy that you're looking at right there was involved in the First World War, and this photo was actually taken right out front of this building. So there's a lot of history here. And not only did this guy sleep here, but apparently Oppenheimer himself slept in this hotel. One of my favorite parts is this elevator. It's very different. The door opens and it swings out, and then you get in, and it says it can take up to 300 kilograms, up to 4 people, but it's pretty small. Let's go check out the garden. There's another fancy room back here. Wow, this is nice. It's nice and cool back here too, which is pretty good because it is hot outside today. Right in the middle of summer, what can I say? Whew. I think I'd like to spend some time out here. And since we finished exploring the hotel, it was time to check out the Sleeping Beauty Castle. This almost reminds me of some place from an old James Bond movie. I'm waiting for Jaws to come around the corner. You know, the man with the golden gun type of vibes going here. But this is the Sleeping Beauty Castle, and it's actually a lot more beautiful than I thought it would be, or I had anticipated. If you want to see more about this castle, tune in next week, because I'm actually doing a video on the true story, the true origins of the Sleeping Beauty, and it's a little more shocking than you might think. So if you want to check that out, subscribe to the channel, and that'll be out next week. That is a gigantic chimney. Oh, what a long day that was. As you can see, we are going to hit the sack. That was one of the most beautiful castles we've ever visited. I think Daisy's already sleeping. No, she's still with us, but we had a good dinner at an Italian restaurant, some of the best pizza ever. I'm full. I'm tired. Good night. People, unfortunately, I did not sleep that well on this bed last night. It's too stiff, and it doesn't work for me. For some people maybe, but I kind of feel like I have a hangover and I don't even drink. My neck is stiff and it's giving me a headache. And I'm hungry, but breakfast should be ready, so let's get going. Apparently the breakfast started at 8, and even though we were 5 minutes early, we weren't early enough. It seems as though somehow the early birds had been there for at least an hour chomping down on their grub. If you're wondering, the breakfast wasn't super great, but it wasn't bad at all either. It was just right. Before we get out of here, I'd like to give you guys some of my final thoughts on this place. And the first one that comes to mind is that last night, Daisy and I actually shared this room with somebody. His name is Henry, and he's a spider that lives in the shower. And when I woke up this morning, Henry was on the ceiling staring me directly in the eyes, saying good morning. I opened the window and he went out to get some milk, and he hasn't returned since. So I guess the room is spider free now. But I didn't really mind it because I'm one of those people that I don't really mind spiders. And by the way, he helped us defeat the mosquitoes throughout the night. It's pretty obvious this place is old school. A lot of the furniture I think is actually original. Unfortunately, a little bit dusty. But another thing that's old school are the lights. Now, I can't say that the lights are original, but they're fairly dim when you do turn them on. And so at nighttime, the atmosphere in the room is a little bit dark, and I'm not gonna lie, creepy. On the plus side, however, the people were super nice. I actually only saw 2 people working here, the owner and I think his wife, and I think that's how they like to keep it. They were here last night and they were here this morning, and they're still here today. So they're both extremely nice, and the man was extremely welcoming, and he actually showed us around a bit and gave us some cool insider tips, such as the fact that Oppenheimer himself has stayed here. Could be in this room, actually. Not sure. And that brings me to another point, which is really cool about this place, is the historical value of this hotel. I've read the reviews for this place, and one thing that I noticed is there were a lot of people calling for this place to be remodeled and updated. I think those people have it horribly wrong, and I think that's a horribly bad idea. Because the thing that makes this place super interesting, and the thing that makes it stand out, is the fact that this furniture is old. They're antiques, and the history that this place has. You would be erasing all of that and you would just turn this place into just another hotel? No, I actually enjoyed the history here, and that's what made it really special. So I'm gonna write a review and I'm gonna say, keep this place the way it is. Would I come back again? No, I wouldn't. The hotel is beautiful and it was a really beautiful, fun, good experience, but in my opinion, it's a one and done kind of thing. But that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, I've gotten everything I could out of this place and I think it's time to move on. So I think with that being said, you're probably wondering how much all of this costs. Well, the castle that we visited yesterday was 100% free. The parking is free and you get to wander right onto the property for €0. And the hotel really wasn't that expensive either. We actually paid 111 euros for the whole night here. So what do you guys think? Was it worth it? Would you stay in a place like this for 111 euros a night? Before you answer that, think about all of the history this place has to offer. Well, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you did, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, because we go on these adventures all the time. So we'll see you next time. Peace.